make an 808 bass in GarageBand. I have a GarageBand session up here, and we're going to be using all stock GarageBand sounds with the 808 and the beat. So you don't have to bring any external samples in. It's all available for free in GarageBand. And if you're just getting started out with GarageBand 2, or you want to make that transition to Logic Pro, feel free to subscribe to this channel then, because that's what this channel is all about. I'm Charles Klein, singer, songwriter, and producer, and I'm just trying to help you make music and get that music heard as well. So stick around and subscribe. So we're going to be using this Juno synth as our bass to make the beat around. Okay, so let's go find our 808 drum set right now, and then we'll add the 808 bass. It's in the same actual software instrument. So track, new track, software instrument, create, and we'll go look for our drum kit, electronic drum kit, and the boutique 808. So if you have a MIDI keyboard, you can just start pressing things and you should hear the drum set. There's some elements. If you don't have a MIDI keyboard, you can press Command K. This is going to open up musical typing, and you can find the drum elements by clicking on your mouse here or by clicking on the keyboard. And it's actually your computer keyboard is now a MIDI controller. Let's do a kick and snare pattern. So we'll find a kick on our keyboard here. Oh, there it is. And a snare. So let's just do kick, snare, something simple. So what I'm going to do is press C to cycle at the top, and then I'm going to press R and then record a pattern here. The Juno synth is really loud, so let's turn that down. Let's quantize this. So let's double click on the green region here. And it's going to open up our editor window. And now we can just move these MIDI notes into place. The quickest way to do that is by doing Command A. Like this is going to highlight all the notes if I do Command A. You could also like make a big square around them like this. And then you see time quantize here. We're going to quantize by 1/16. So we're going to press this Q button and watch what happens to these notes. It's just going to lock everything into place. So now if we just solo our beat, it almost worked completely. This kick is a bit off time. You can see here if I play at bar 2, you're going to hear it's a bit off time. It should be right here, like this. And that's better. Let's press E to get rid of this editor. And now we'll add an 808 bass. So we're going to add the exact same track really. I like to put them in separate tracks because we're going to add some plugins to the 808 bass that make it sound a bit heavier. So there's a couple ways we can duplicate this track. We can go track, new track, and add the software instrument again, and then go find it in here. But we can also do something quicker, just Command D, and this is just going to duplicate this track for me. So now I'm going to go, just double click in, and call this 808 bass. Now I can go to my 808 bass here, to my MIDI controller, and find the bass notes. Here they are. Now we just have to find what we want to play, and then we can add some plugins to make the 808 sound a bit fatter and more mean, I guess. 808s do have tone and pitch to them, so we have to find the right pitch. So we just go on our controller, and I'm going to play this G sharp. So I did play a wrong note there, and that's okay. We're going to double click in and edit this now. First, I'm going to just quantize everything by 1/16. So highlight everything again and press Q. Now let's take a listen to what we have. So this is a wrong note here on this chord. So let me just cycle it here, play with the Juno for a second. So that's a better note here. And if you're wondering, I'm just doing this by ear. Basically, I'm listening to this, what this Juno chord is here. Da. And so I'm going to write the same tone with the bass. Do. Actually, it might be C. Yeah, it's a C actually. So I was wrong. That's the right tone. That will fit well with the Juno. And you can get much more creative with your 808 patterns. The best way to learn cool 808 patterns is just to find a song you really like with an 808 bass and just play that same pattern. So let's make this 808 sound much more like a heavier 808. How we can do that is we're going to open up the controls for this region. So we go over here, press the controls bar or button. And now we can add different effects that are only on the bass and won't affect our drum set. So I'm going to go down here to plugins window. And this is where we can add a few plugins that will really help our overdrive and distortion. That's really what helps an 808 sound like an 808. So I'm going to click this little blue shaded area under compressor, and actually I used overdrive recently, but you can also find it under distortion, overdrive. That's going to open up this plugin window. We can set our own settings here with the dials. We can also go down to the drop down menu where there are presets. So we might maybe start with the presets. Let's say lead drive. And already that sounds cool, so I might just leave it like that. Presets are the best because you don't have to do much. Then go down below overdrive and we'll add some distortion. So back to distortion, and we'll go distortion. Just distortion this one. Let's go add a preset again. So drop down. Let's do crunch distortion maybe. So that's pretty crunchy. Maybe I want to dial that back a bit. Let's try another preset, just warm distortion. Probably want to dial this back a bit. So this drive, if you just don't want it to be that heavy, you can just dial the drive back, maybe down to 10. Mix in the drum set. Try to mix it in so you can really still hear the drums. That note, first note doesn't sound right. That's better. Sometimes it's really hard to hear the bass tones, so make sure it is right. And let's make this 808 a bit more interesting now. So that might be interesting like this. Do do do. See, I had the wrong tone there as well. Could be higher, better if this G was the octave up. Probably not. If I want it to quickly move octave down, I can go Shift Option down arrow, and that's going to move that MIDI note exactly 12 down. Might just do a double one here like this. Let's add some hi-hats to the Boutique 808 just to make that a bit more interesting. So I'll go back up to my drum set and look for the hi-hats on my controller. Hi-hats are shakers. Let's add hi-hats. So I can just record over this region. Now that I have it clicked, I can just press R. So that would be added in there now. Before I move on, I want to quantize those hi-hats. So I double click in. There they are. Let's highlight them. And we'll go to quantize, press Q by 1/16. We can also add some rolls in here if we wanted to. So one way to do that is by hand. We can, in our GarageBand editor, we can press Command, and then we can use this pencil to draw notes. So let's say we want to roll right in between, right before bar 2. We'd go in, we'd zoom in, press Command, have that pencil, and then we draw notes in. So I just drew this huge note, so I have to make it smaller now. And I'm going to draw another note right beside this one, and drag it over. So let's just hear what that sounds like. So that's a bit of a roll. We could do 3 if we wanted to. Maybe one right here too. And if you want these to be quantized, a way to do that is to highlight these 3 and then go over here and quantize by 1/64. So that just nudged them into place, and that's going to be in time now. So let's hear what this sounds like. Maybe you want another roll right before bar 4. We can copy and paste the ones we did over there. We can also just draw 3 more in. 1, 2, 3, and then drag them in place. Highlight them and go over to 1/64 again and press quantize. So this is a different roll now. I can press C whenever I want, and this will bring up this yellow bar to cycle it. I can take a listen to the drum set. Bring our 808 in. Maybe we don't even want that Juno synth anymore. We can go and add another software instrument, track, new track, software instrument. Maybe we can put some type of old Mellotron type of piano here. So Mellotron, let's try the flute could be cool. One thing I can do is I know I need these Juno chords, so I can just bring that MIDI data down and pop it into the flute here. And now I can hear what this flute sounds like. I can pan it off to the left a bit. Let's hear what that sounds like with everything. There we have an 808 kit with an 808 bass and a cool little Mellotron flute sound, all made in GarageBand with free GarageBand stock sounds. If you're just starting out with GarageBand and learning this kind of stuff, then please feel free to subscribe to this channel and have a look at some of my other videos in the channel. I have a lot of other videos on GarageBand and Logic Pro. So subscribe, stick around, and I hope to see you in the next video.